If you ever have a sense of wanting to make a getaway to the Hawkeye State, you have come to the right place. Greetings, fellow travelers. I'm your host, Bill Wright, and it is my pleasure to take you on an adventure exploring all of the ins and outs of the great state of Iowa. On this journey, I'll be taking you on a tour of the eastern side of the state, the area that has most of Iowa's historic landmarks scattered across it. We will stop by Dubuque, Iowa City, and Waterloo along the way. I am really excited about this journey because I grew up in this particular area of Iowa. It's going to be an epic adventure in Iowa Wanderlust Episode 2 Valley of History. We begin our adventure in the oldest settlement in the state of Iowa. That's right, it's the masterpiece on the Mississippi itself, Dubuque. Iowa's entire eastern border is built along the mighty Mississippi River, which makes up part of the longest river system in the United States. Dubuque is one of the many Iowa towns built alongside this river. In fact, it's the second largest city in the state built alongside the Mississippi behind Davenport. Dubuque has built an entire culture around the Mississippi River, and this is no less evident than in the Port of Dubuque Entertainment District, which includes the famed National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium. The campus comprises two different buildings, one highlighting the of Mexico and environmental concerns, as well as the river's history, while the second is the geography of the river, as well as freshwater exhibits and freshwater life. The National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium is just a part of this ever expanding complex, as it also includes the Grand Harbor Resort, a massive hotel complex which also includes an indoor water park, complete with a water play structure themed around a steamboat. And speaking of steamboats, you can catch a ride on the Spirit of Dubuque to paddle alongside the Mississippi River under the two bridges that lead to two different states. That's right, Dubuque is actually part of a tri state complex, which includes not just Iowa, but also Illinois and Wisconsin. So we've already talked about the River Museum and the Grand Harbor. Now let's talk about the Diamond Joe Casino and the Q Casino. The Diamond Joe Casino houses a major bowling alley with 30 lanes called Cherry Lanes, which and also has a Mississippi Moon Bar alongside many other gambling activities. So the Port of Dubuque is Dubuque's major cultural hub. But you know what else is provides many amazing views of the mighty Mississippi River? Look no further than Eagle Point Park, just north of town. Eagle Point Park is situated on a high bluff overlooking Lock and Dam number 11. You would get great views of the mighty Mississippi from one of its pavilions. And also check out its splash pad. It's a lot of fun. Dubuque is referred to as a city of churches and is a cultural center of the Catholic faith in the state of Iowa. It is the home of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Dubuque and its cathedral, the Cathedral of St. Raphael, which is worth taking a view of with its four crosses atop the steeple. However, it's not just the Catholics that have populated Dubuque. In fact, the Catholics have two major universities in the city, Loras College and Clark University. But the the Reformed Church, the Presbyterian Church, also set up a major educational institution in the city, the University of Dubuque, the home of the Spartans. However, it's not just churches that Dubuque is famous for. You can also get a magnificent view of the tri state area and downtown Dubuque from the top of Iowa's steepest and shortest railroad, not just in Iowa, but the world, actually. It's the Fenelon Place elevator, where you can charge $5 just to get from the bottom of the elevator to the top of Fenelon Place and view all of the magnificent beauty of the tri states from the top. You can also view a bunch of the gardening beauty in the Arboretum, kind of like Dubuque's community garden. It is home to a massive garden, a band shell which houses live entertainment, and there's even a little koi pond in the heart of the arboretum. Dubuque is a major hub of culture and history in the state of Iowa. You can also check out the Shot Tower just outside the port of Dubuque. However, there are other attractions in Dubuque County worth looking at as well. Take the Field of Dreams in Dyersville, the home of the famous movie shooting of the movie of the same name, and which also hosted MLB games in the past 2 years. And just 30 minutes south of Dubuque is my old hometown of Bellevue, also providing a magnificent view of the Mississippi, situated in a valley situated just north of a state park of the same name, and also housing a majority Catholic community. You We're gonna head out west and southwest on coming up here in Iowa Wanderlust, episode 2 will be going down to Iowa City, home of the state's most popular university, coming up right after this. From one river to another, from the Mississippi River, the one of the longest rivers in the United States, we go down to the Iowa River, defining most of the state's heartland. In fact, it was the Iowa River that the state of Iowa was named after. And it's fitting that a river like the Iowa River goes through a city named Iowa City. Iowa City was actually the first capital of the state of Iowa following its admission into the Union in 1846, before it was moved to our current capital, Des Moines. Today, Iowa City is a cultural hub in the state of Iowa, and this is mainly thanks to it being the home of Iowa's oldest post secondary institution, the University of Iowa. Founded the year after Iowa became admitted to the Union, the University of Iowa has quite a bit of a heritage to it. They love their Hawkeyes, and they pack their two most popular sporting venues, Kinnick Stadium for football and Carver Hawkeye Arena for basketball, the home of legendary basketball player Caitlin Clark. Well, actually, her hometown's in West Des Moines. She just went to Iowa and now plays for the Indiana Fever. It's not just the sporting venues that the campus houses. You also take a stroll down the old campus with the old Capitol building in the center, a reminder of Iowa City's past as the old capital of Iowa. Crossing the Iowa River to the famed Hancher Auditorium, where you can catch a show. It is a very unique auditorium from an architectural standpoint. It can house 1,800 people, house university concerts, as well as several guest performers. I know I was there for a Jazz at Lincoln Center concert with my sister. However, downtown Iowa City adds to the vibe of the campus with some unique shopping venues, such as a mall not too far away from Voxman, where the Iowa School of Music is located. And the outside suburb of Coralville is home to an even larger shopping venue, the Coral Ridge Mall, which is only rivaled by the Jordan Creek Town Center in terms of malls. The Coral Ridge Mall is home to the Children's Museum of Iowa, one of the most famed children's museums in Iowa. It houses an ice skating rink and even a carousel at the main entrance. The Coral Ridge Mall only adds to Coralville being a super place for shopping in the Iowa City metro. When it comes to brand name, when you shop local, you shop Iowa City. Regardless of whether you're a university student or not, there are so many opportunities for you to make new friends on the campus of the University of Iowa as a Hawkeye. You can make them through the many eateries and bars scattered throughout the Iowa City metro. These are especially popular when the Iowa Hawkeyes are playing at home or on the road, especially when the women's basketball team played for a national championship or the Iowa Hawkeyes were in the Big Ten championship in football. The Prairie Lights bookstore is one of the fine examples of places to shop in Iowa City. It is a three level bookstore with kids books on the top and adult books on the bottom. You can find books of all kinds in the Prairie Lights bookstore. Iowa City, the land of the University of Iowa, the home of the University of Iowa, county seat of Johnson County, and of course, the University of Iowa provides a very unique vibe to this location. Some specific eateries you have to check out include their pubs. They offer really good pub burgers and beer. They offer a lot of the famed Bush Light is one of the most popular ones in the state of Iowa. In terms of performing arts, of course, I mentioned Hampshire, but Coralville also has its own performing arts venue where the Iowa Opera plays a bunch of their shows. Iowa City is nothing like anywhere you could ever visit in eastern Iowa, mainly thanks to it being a college campus town, only rivaled by Ames, the home of Iowa State University, the Hawkeyes' crosstown rival. Stick around for the only city in Iowa that shares its name with an ABBA song. That's right, Waterloo is coming up right after this. And that is, of course, Waterloo. Finally made it to Waterloo. I'm sorry, I can't get the ABBA song stuck out of my head because there's a song by Swedish pop group ABBA named Waterloo that just became obsessed with and associated with the great city of Waterloo. Fifth largest city in the state of Iowa, fifth largest metro in the state of Iowa by population. Waterloo is a powerhouse when it comes to agriculture and it also houses an island paradise getaway. Let's talk first about the island paradise getaway. This comes in the form of the Lost Island, owned independently by the Brush family and featuring both a massive water park and a newly constructed theme park. The theme park just recently opened in 2022 and has a total of three, soon to be four, roller coasters. Two of their major ones are relocations from other parks. One is a relocation from Sweden and the other from South Africa. Their signature attraction is not even a roller coaster, it's actually a dark ride called Volcano Quest for the Golden Idol. It is an interactive dark ride which you have to capture a statue called an Orotika and place it on the altar and try to defeat the fire god Volcano. The Lost Island theme park itself has five different themed areas or realms. There's Mira, the Fire Clan, Yuta, Earth, Awa, Water, Udara, Air, and Tamariki, or Spirit. The Tamariki being the kids section of the Lost Island, even featuring a little kids coaster called Locolo. Matugani is the park's largest roller coaster. It is a relocation from Liseberg in Sweden called Kanonen. It previously operated as Kanonen. It features a 47 mile per hour launch up a top hat and two inversions, a vertical loop and a heartline roll. Matugani is a must for any Iowa coaster enthusiast out there and makes up the coaster route Mount Rushmore of Iowa along with Legend at Arnold's Park and then Monster and Outlaw at Adventureland. The other coaster is Nopuko Air Coaster. A lot of you are very familiar with this one, especially if you're a coaster enthusiast. It's the infamous Vekoma SLC. This time with an extended helix and a relocation from South Africa, specifically Ratanga Junction, where it operated as Cobra. Other noticeable rides at the Lost Island include an SNS, a pneumatic drop tower called Skyborne, which operates pretty similar to Space Shot at Adventureland, except this time it gently raises you up to the top and then thrusts you down. And I think probably one of my favorite rides in the park, Amara Aviators. This is a ride in which you have a gondola with wings on either side of it, and you have a joystick on each wing to control your roll. You can roll as much or as little as you want from side to side, which is a really fun experience. Obviously, I did not get in any flips, but it was an amazing ride nonetheless. The Lost Island Water Park has won Best Water Park in the World by USA Today, and it is run by the same group of people who own the Lost Island theme park. A few of its notable attractions include the Wailua Kupua water coaster, the Lost Soul Falls, which is essentially a massive body slide at the top of a tall tower, a straight plunge down. There's also Molokini Crater, which is that massive funnel slide you can see from the highway. There's also a mat racer slide, a raft slide called Calypso Cascade, which is half enclosed, half open, and then we have a massive lazy river and a wave pool. However, it's not just the water park aspect that Lost Island is famous for. They also have zip lining, go karts, and mini golf located just outside the water park. So if you're looking for a fun getaway, the Lost Island is definitely the place to go. However, that's not the only draw that Waterloo has. Our next stop on this adventure is the place where the first tractor was made. John Deere manufactured the Waterloo Boy in 1918, a two-cylinder gasoline-powered tractor that proved horses just weren't right for farming. From this came the emergence of a new company, Deere and Company, that has become an agricultural giant, manufacturing tractors and combines and planters and plows, the stereotypical farm equipment. However, it also manufactures construction and forestry equipment in different locations. However, it is their tractors that are manufactured here in Waterloo, specifically their largest three series of tractors, the 7R, 8R, and 9R series. The 9R being articulated. This is where most of the specialized row crop tractors come into play, even though the 7R series is more for utility work. If you're more into the history of the tractor, then you would definitely love the John Deere Tractor and Engine Museum located in downtown Waterloo. It features a bunch of historic John Deere tractors and equipment from the early days of John Deere's existence. I have been a huge fan of John Deere ever since I was a kid. Those green and yellow colors really pop on those tractors. No pun intended, because the two-cylinder engine of the tractor makes a pop pop sound as they go by. Of course, John Deere makes 4 and 6-cylinder tractors today, but they've been rendered obsolete when farms have grown. The two-cylinder tractors, anyway. So that brings us to the end of our Iowa Wanderlust East Valley Tour here on Iowa Wanderlust. I'm Bill Wright, and I'd like to thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure across our great state. Coming up on episode 3, we go to 3 noticeable towns south of Des Moines. It's going to be the Indianola, Pella, and Winterset Tour. Until then, thank you for listening. I'm Bill Wright, signing off here on Iowa Wanderlust.